This is a nonfiction piece. It's titled Let It Go. In my late 20s, I had enrolled in a self-help program. We had homework, and for me, it was to reconcile grievances with important people in my life. Mom was one of those people. I had always felt like I couldn't talk to her. Could have been a shit ton of reasons that had nothing to do with me, which I realized in hindsight. But I was jealous of other women who had good relationships with their mothers. I also felt like she cared more about my brother than me. While he was a decade older, every time I would call, she and Dad would ask, "So how's your brother?" As if I was his keeper. As if I wasn't important. As if he were the center of their universe. As if talking to me wasn't enough. "I don't feel like we're friends and I just don't trust you," I'd said, or something in that vein. Mom started to cry. "I don't know how to be friends with women because every woman who was my friend your father slept with," she said. Or maybe she didn't cry. She didn't address my issues with her, only her excuse. No recognition of my concerns with our relationship. No resolutions. Just an explanation for her lack of interest in her daughter. I made the leap. The parameters of our relationship were set. We were just going to be acquaintances, not friends. Fine. I made peace with that, and I let go that she and Dad asked about my brother because he never called them. I told him to stop asking about my brother. Soon after, our Sunday phone calls shifted fast into mostly talking about me, which would not have happened without my ongoing therapy sessions. When my parents were in town for my MFA graduation, Mom said something to me when I was trying on my outfit for the ceremony. "That skirt makes you look skinnier," as if being fat was a death sentence. As if being fat held me back from receiving 2 degrees. As if being fat held me back from obtaining employment. "So," I said to her, and she didn't say anything else, knowing she'd crossed the line. She kept her mouth shut about my weight for the remainder of the trip. That night, I laid in bed thinking about her and how every time she said something about my weight, it said way more about her than it did about me. What was she gaining by telling me I was fat? Did it make me any less smarter? Any less desirable? Any less everything? This was her shit. She was projecting it onto me. We're living in this body positivity movement that has never existed, and I guess it hasn't migrated to the Dominican Republic. There are so many beautiful, full-bodied women on covers of magazines as famous bloggers, actresses, singers, and yet. Well, Mom isn't the most enlightened person I know, so for me, for the moment, I left it there, sitting with her. That's your view of beauty, Mom, and I'm not sorry for not being thin. I'm still beautiful and successful. Last April, I went to the Dominican Republic to celebrate my father's 70th birthday. Family and friends were in attendance, but I was anxious. I had gained weight. I was emotionally eating after reading Roxane Gay's Hunger last year. Her sexual assault was also mine. Me fucking too. Like Gay, my weight gain was infused with trauma. Coupled with a full-time job and being enrolled in an MFA program at the time, I didn't make room to heal and combat these feelings of depression and inadequacy that felt as if they came from nowhere. Because I wasn't navigating all of my shit, I turned to my best friends, food and media. I was eating out 2 to 3 times a week and completely sedentary, not in a good place. I knew I'd tackle whatever I was combating in the new year. I was beginning to practice yoga again after attending a rejuvenating retreat for my 36th birthday. With new awareness, I realized I always felt anxious when I was going to see my parents. Would Mom say something about my hair like last time? Or just focus on my weight? The birthday party was a success. Not even my relatives said anything about my weight, which was relieving. The evening before my flight back to the Bay Area, Mom said, "Tú estás demasiado gorda." No remedies, just a statement. "You're way too fat." In that moment, I responded by telling her the truth, my truth. I'm healthy. Every physical I've had as a chubby person, my blood tests were always clean. I was healthier than my dad, who had to take cholesterol and blood pressure pills. The only pills I took were vitamins. "I hope it doesn't offend you, but I just have to say something," she said. "But I'm healthy," I practically yelled at her. And then she backed off and tried to change the subject. This was her pattern with confrontations. Very quick to move on to the next thing. I couldn't control the tears that dribbled down my cheeks. She hugged me as I blubbered. "Do you know why I'm like this?" I said. "Because of your brother. Because I was afraid of men because of what he did to me. I didn't get a, "I'm sorry he did that to you," or "that's awful," or anything that resembled compassion or empathy. My mom already knew her brother, my uncle, was my abuser, but it was as if either she was too numb or still trying to tuck it away into a box she never opens. Instead of consoling me, she gave her Me Too stories without details, but it was told so matter of fact, as if this is a rite of passage for women, as if this is the kind of shit we have to deal with, as if this is the norm. She ended her stories with, "Well, you're not the only one this has happened to, and you have to let it go." It was so dismissive. Just like when I confronted her about our lack of relationship, she shared a piece of herself to me, but couldn't empathize. Is that her way to show empathy? I saw her show more compassion to some teenager who was crying in a corner of my uncle's colmado. Because it's so easy to let go of trauma when you haven't even begun to terms with its effect on you. 2 weeks after I was home, I confronted Mom about how I didn't feel supported. How she didn't take how seriously this had affected my life. "You took what I said the wrong way. You misunderstood." I didn't even know how to respond to that bullshit, so my pause indicated we were done with that, and she changed the subject. What the fuck? I know I can't change the way my mom reacts, and that all I can do is change my reaction, how I am with her. Could it be too late? Will she think about her words and how they affect me? I can't see the future of a relationship, but I know I need to heal first before we can even have one in the first place. Thank you.